Roxo Media House.
From the Flying T Club studios here at Roxo Media House, this is Frogs Today. Kirk Salos and his baseball club moves to just one game below 500 in the conference with a massive sweep on the road at Baylor. Men's and women's golf individuals at the NCAAs. Men's tennis took on UC Irvine and Cornell in the regional round, moving on to the Supers this weekend against the Blue Devils and are just one match away from the Elite Eight. We will get you caught up on track and field as they take their success to the Big 12 Championships in Waco, which started yesterday. And welcome to the NFL for three of our Horned Frog football players who will speak with us what it was like getting that call. It's Friday, May 10th, and I'm your host, Jade Otway from Blenheim, New Zealand, and welcome into this week's episode of Frogs Today.
And I'm Isabel Pascual from Barcelona, Spain, and we're with the TCU women's tennis team. As the school year comes to an end, our athletic teams continue to go on strong.
It's finals week for us and our fellow student athletes, but we are taking a much-needed study break to bring you all the exciting post-season Frog news from our spring sports teams.
Beach volleyball closes out their season at the National Championship, and additionally, we get some insight from the Block T Association Director and former TCU volleyball coach, Jill Pay-Primer, on their mission at the most recent Coaches Golf Classic. We will get to that and much more after a word from our sponsor.
Stay tuned.
We're lucky to have a collective that's as strong and as powerful as the Flying T Club. It's a big deal for us. It is a game changer. You know, I would just encourage any fans out there to support it. Everyone asks me, what's the biggest priority? And I say, NIL is big. Please jump on board, show these student athletes how much they mean to you. The thing about NIL is I think there's a right and a wrong way to do it, and the Flying T Clubs do it the right way. Let's keep winning. Join the Flying T Club today.
Welcome back, Frog Nation, from the Flying T Club studio here at Roxo Media House. I'm your host, Jade Otway. Well, it would make sense if we didn't start with tennis. Of course, right? The tensions ran high at the second round of the NCAA Men's Tennis Championships, but our men stayed the course in sweeping not just 35-ranked Cornell, but UC Irvine in the first rounds of the NCAAs. When we asked about the tensed environment, Coach David Roditi said, "We just handled it better."
I'm just proud of our guys, the way they just took care of business. And they knew what the strategy was, they knew what the plan was, and I felt like we outcompeted them, and the guys did. Our guys outcompeted them in certain moments and just outsmarted them in certain strategic situations. These guys have been competing all year, and I'll say it again as a coach, you just do the best you can to get them ready and let them play. Go do what they do. Go do what you do. And started with a really good doubles point, number 2 doubles, got up a break right away in doubles, and then we were able to win at number 3 doubles. So a lot going on with the weather. You know, we had to change the time. So it's just, again, it's these guys love to play. They love to play in front of their crowd here at TCU, and there's a lot at stake. There's a few things that, you know, you always feel like, how can you get a little bit better? Can you get a little bit better between now and next Saturday? We have a few guys that haven't played yet. We'll see what we got, but you know, that's where Devin Bowen is. There's nobody better than Devin. So emotions are high, and I'm just proud that I felt like our team, our staff, handled the emotional part better than they did.
Our 4th-ranked men advanced to their 9th straight super regional round of the 16. They will meet up with 13th-ranked Duke tomorrow at 3 p.m. on the purple courts.
Duke's tough. They're energetic program. They're an energetic team. They're very good players at the top. They're good in doubles, and they're solid throughout the lineup. So very similar to the way that somebody would describe our program. So you're kind of going strengths versus strengths, and go battle. It should be a beautiful day, Saturday, 3 o'clock. Unfortunately, it's graduation, so a lot of students won't be here. So we need the community to come out and support us. We need the country clubs. We need the adults, the neighborhood to come out and support the Frogs, whether you're a tennis fan or not. It's about TCU versus Duke, no matter what sport you're playing.
Sebastian Gorsny is back in the lineup for the Frogs and is picked up right where he left off.
Yeah, it was great to be back. I mean, it was just doubles, but I mean, this is where I wanted to be back. NCAAs didn't get to play Big 12s, so I'm excited to be in NCAAs and hopefully we can make a run here. Yeah, I mean, it's just another opportunity for us to make it to the Elite Eight. I mean, they're a very rowdy, loud team. They're very good, top to bottom. So it's a great opportunity to have a shot to go to Stillwater and hopefully make a run to win NCAAs. It's a different perspective. You kind of see how it is to not play, and you kind of appreciate how nice it is to be playing. So it's just another kind of incentive and motivation for me to really want to be back out there and win for the guys, and not only cheer from the sidelines, but also be able to play and contribute to the points. NCAAs is win or go home. So, I mean, I feel like the whole season kind of just leads up to it. You can lose other matches, and it's not the end of the world, but this might be the last match you ever play with that group of guys. So it's very special, and you want to leave it all out there so you don't have any regrets. And we know we have a team that can win it, so hopefully we can do that.
The Frogs have not dropped a point in 6 consecutive regional matches and are 24-0 dating back to 2021. The Frogs are 24-1 at home in the NCAA tournament, and Rodidi improved to a 26-9 in the NCAA overall. The Purple Courts have been good to the Frogs as they are 12-0 at home this season.
It's been a sort of a progress building block from the very beginning. When I first came in with Mark Chia as the other coach, we had certain goals, and one was to become relevant nationwide, and then we recruited the right guys that helped us get there. And then you start putting the pieces together with players like Cameron Norrie, Guilla Nunez, Trevor Johnson, Devin joining our program. Ever since Devin's been here, we've made the final site. It's that simple. So, and then you add players like Fumba and Sander and Jake and Jack and these guys. They all are leaving their legacy, their mark. So it's about the player. The players are the ones getting it done. Devin and I just been doing our best to stay out of the way and support them and help them and develop them. We've done a good job of creating a system where it develops players for the next level, and people know that, so we keep getting those players. So I'm very proud. I'm very proud of that statistic, and the way I would say it is since 2015, since spring of 2015 when we made the Final Four, we've made the final side every year. So for us to do that this year, we got to beat Duke.
Hold Frogs! We are! Hold Frogs! We are! TCU! 1, 2, 3, Frogs! Let's go, boys!
We will see you on the courts tomorrow. Good luck to our men's tennis team. In baseball action, Frogball USA went to Waco and swept the Bears, improving to 13-14, and Big 12 play, moving from 10th to 8th in a much-needed win. On State of the Frogs with Kirk Salos, our head coach talks about the importance of the results heading into Waco last week.
We didn't discuss it as a team in terms of, hey, we have X amount of games, 9 games left in conference. We have to go to go to the Big 12 tournament. I think they maybe have listened to say maybe some media in terms of maybe some of the times that I've spoken to you guys after games and maybe kind of knew what we needed to do in general. But I think we went from being outside looking in to like leapfrogging like 4 or 5 teams. And right now being 13-14, Tech's behind us at 12-15, and we have a chance to maybe catch a couple more teams. I think most everybody has 9 games left in 6 games left in conference play, and we only have 3. So finish strong against West Virginia and see what happens.
With the postseason around the corner and the Big 12 limited to 10 teams in the conference tournament, the Frogs starting strong and staying strong was big for the Frogs.
Felt great, and it especially felt great to do it on the road, where we haven't really done well this year. So, a 6th spot in the first inning on Sunday is a huge deal, and just carrying some momentum. Playing good baseball and carrying momentum and doing it on the road is a great sign.
Game 1 came alive in the 9th inning with a grand slam by Jack Arthur. We got free baseball on Saturday in Game 2 as the Frogs came back after being down 6-1 to pick up the 9-7 win in the 11th. To complete the sweep, Frogball USA homers 3 times in the first inning to storm out to a 6-0 lead, with 3 two-run homers by Logan Maxwell, Luke Boyers, and Carson Bowen. Boyers talks about the success he is having.
For me, I'm trying to, anything up in the zone, in the strike zone, I'm trying to hammer early. And, in my career in the past, I haven't been the best with 2 strikes, and so I'm not trying to get to 2 strikes. And that's kind of my approach this year is I think I'm a better hitter and can do more damage when I'm aggressive early.
And is there something about the sprinting around the bases? You're just trying to get home? There was one this past weekend. I think you probably had a record time in the conference this year getting around.
I was pretty fired up about that one. They had shifted me, and then I was able to hit a home run, and I was pretty fired up about that.
That's the best way to beat the shift.
Yeah, the best way to beat the shift. And so I was, I wasn't even saying I was thinking about it. I was just fired up and ready to get back to the dugout to greet the guys.
With a 10-6 Game 3 win in Waco, TCU improves to 29-16 on the season, and Salas talks about the series and New Mexico State.
We have to continue to play good ball, and our job every single time that we strap it on is to win baseball games, and so that's what we're going in to do, and that's what our guys are going in to do. Whatever it takes to win a game, that's what we're going to do on Friday. They're going to hit. They play in a super offensive ballpark, so they're hitting well over 300. A lot of home runs as a team. Their pitching staff has an inflated ERA because they literally play on the moon. So, it'll be a little bit different for them. They play in a good Conference USA, and so they've been tested the whole year. So they're not going to be coming here with their eyes wide open. I think they'll be, ready to come in here and try and, take us down. And we got to be able to make sure that we play good baseball and be ready for them as well.
Opening a 7-game homestand starting tonight versus New Mexico State. They host Baylor on Tuesday of next week and close out the season as second place West Virginia comes to town next week. Lupton Stadium is a special place and Lupton Magic is alive. My teammate Isabel Pascual will bring you more after this break.
Energy does everything for us. It's all-encompassing.
We're all benefiting and affected from it.
And it is something that we all need to know about.
It is the glue that holds everything together.
TCU is powering what matters, our future.
We don't just talk about what's needed, we focus on results.
The Ralph Lowe Energy Institute is creating a world where energy is affordable, sustainable, and reliable.
Welcome back, Frog Nation, from the Flying T Club studio here at Roxo Media House. I'm your host, Isabel Pascual, with TCU Women's Tennis. In beach volleyball's 4th consecutive appearance in the NCAA Championship, number 6 TCU fell 3-2 to number 11 LSU in the first round on Friday. Pairs Hailey Hamlet, Lina Kimil, and Olivia Klintz and Annette Namike took wins in their matches against LSU, but it wasn't enough to propel the Frogs forward in the championship. Hamlet and Camille, along with Sutton McTavish, earned first-team All-Conference USA honors, while Klintz was selected as Freshman of the Year. Round out the conference honors was Ana Vergara, selected to the second team. The Frogs finished in the top 10 for the 4th straight season. The Sandy Frogs will be back, we know it. In track and field action, the postseason is upon us and the Big 12 Conference Championship are here. The championship started yesterday and continue today through tomorrow. TCU won the program's first ever sprint medley at the Penn Relay last week. The squad of Jade Douglas, Cassie Crockett, Gianni Henry, and Ryan Martins placed first with a time of 3:18.71. Martin's anchor leg propelled the Horned Frogs to the first place finish. Yanni Gray's first place performance in the 100 capped off a great weekend of the Horned Frogs as the Penn Relay, and it was the first consecutive back-to-back championship in the 100 meters since 2014. The runners feel very good about going into conference.
This is the big one. You run all year to run well at this meet. Penn Relays is super cool. All these big meets are cool, but how you get recruits and how you progress as a team is how well you do at conference. So I think it's kind of been like an unspoken thing that it's time now. you had all your practices, you had your bad races, and it's really nice to have a great one going into conference. But I think it's more been like an unspoken. It's time to go.
We went across the world to go compete, and then we not only just went to compete, we went and won. And so coming back home to Baylor, we were just at Baylor 2 weeks ago. And we beat Baylor there, and so we beat Baylor there in our conference. Then we went to Penn, and we won Penn. So now coming back to Baylor for the conference meet, it's like we have a streak of winning. And so winning, it gets contagious, and then winning builds confidence. And so once you have confidence, not really much you can do to slow it down.
It's just what we've been working for all year. Like, all these meets, they're just practice going into the real thing, which is the conference meet.
Men's golf, Gustav Fremont will begin postseason play at the Austin Regional on Monday, May 13th, as the top seed among individuals qualifier. Gustav is making his third NCAA regional appearance in his career. In women's golf, Lois Loud and Sofia Barroso competed in the NCAA Bryan Regional this week and are the second and third Horned Frogs to compete at the NCAA Regionals as individual under head coach Angie Ravioli Larkin. Mark the 20th consecutive season and 28th in the last 30 years that TCU has had representation. Lau finished her college career this week at regionals. She is TCU new all-time birdie queen with 389 birdies, most in TCU women's golf history. What a career for Lau. Birdie queen, 7 postseason starts, 3-time medalist, 7 top 10s, 52 par on better rounds in 44 tournaments played. Congrats to Lau on a tremendous college career. We are sure this is not the last we will see of her. In football news, former TCU standouts Brandon Coleman, Jared Wiley, and Josh Newton are NFL-bound. Coleman was a third-round pick by the Washington Commanders as the 67th overall pick.
We were in Dallas at an Airbnb. Me and my family, friends flew in from Germany, so just like small group. I was just in the kitchen talking to my guys just about whatever, like what we're going to do next week. Probably some type of NBA playoffs going on, so we were talking about that, and then my phone just rang. I wasn't even looking at it, and heard the call, and yeah, I don't remember a lot of it. I just remember they called me, talked to the GM, head coach, and yeah, I was just all over the place. Because everybody there is kind of getting used to everything. OC, same as the players, so we're all kind of learning it together. It's cool to go through this process of learning a whole new offense with the vets that are coming in, learning the offense as well, learning from them how they kind of adapt to those types of things. So it'll be cool to go through that process with all those guys and get going. I think that TCU oftentimes gets overlooked as like a offensive line school. You know, we were a big defensive school with GP still here. And even now, I mean, we always have great defensive players and do a great job on defense. And to kind of show that we also have offensive linemen, they're still doing great from the past years. But even now, the newest guys coming out, Steve, Andrew, Pat, me, you know, those guys are still here, that quality O-line work. And Coach Ricker does a great job as like developing us and the guys to come. So should for sure look out for TCU offensive line play. Just learn as you go. You know, your rookie, you're supposed to struggle. There's things that you're not going to know. There's things that you're supposed to learn. If it's technique, if it's how they do things as an organization, or, you know, how they do film stuff. So you're going to have things that you're going to have to adjust to that you're going to struggle with. So he just said, just keep working and show that you're there and prove and they're a hard worker, and everything will fall into place. I think the biggest adjustment would just be like the amount of time you have and that it's like all up to you basically. You know, in college, when I know everything was kind of given. There's a schedule when you're supposed to be somewhere. There's accountability for if you miss something, but you're still on the team. So NFL, what I've learned now is like you better do everything and be on time, take care of your body. All that stuff's not kind of built into your schedule. You have to do yourself. So I've kind of been doing that on that schedule, but it's just finding out at time when to do it and building out like my own timetable, my own schedule, and getting in a routine is probably the biggest adjustment. Just because it's not kind of given, you just have practice, and then you got whatever you got to do. So just finding out times to get in what you got to get in to stay healthy and stay fresh.
Wiley, as probably one of the most versatile tight ends in the position group heading to the NFL, was picked in the 4th round by the back-to-back Super Bowl champions Kansas City Chiefs as the 131st overall pick. He talked about playing alongside future Hall of Famer Travis Kelce and still hasn't heard a Taylor Swift song.
I'm not going to sit here and lie. I mean, I've probably never heard one of her songs or anything like that, but I think it's the coolest thing ever that, you know, that she's at the games and she just attracts more fans and more publicity to the team. I can't wait to just be a sponge and just be able to absorb, you know, as much information as I possibly can. You know, obviously Travis has done a really good job, at doing what he does, and he's done it for a really long time. So, I mean, everybody talks about the plays that he makes and all that, but I don't see a lot of people talking about the fact that he's in whatever, like year 12, year 13. That's a long time in the NFL. So, I'm really happy to learn the productivity that he has kind of put into his career, but I'm also excited to learn about just how he does his day-to-day stuff, and how he takes care of his body and his mind to where he is able to play this game for so long. Really fun experience. I've just been feeling really kind of, I guess, overwhelmed would be the word, with just blessings, honestly. I say this a lot. There's a lot of time and effort and prayer and work that went into, the situation that I'm in right now. So, just to be able to, have a chance to live out my childhood dreams right now. I mean, like I said, it's just, it's been a really big blessing for me. Kansas City is the powerhouse of the NFL, one of the, powerhouses, and I would say probably one of the top powerhouses in all the sports right now. So just to be able to go there and just learn their culture, and just, be able to be in that environment, that winning environment, it's going to be, I think it's going to be really fun for me. My goal right now is to go up there and get comfortable, be one of the guys that the coaching staff and the players trust. That's a big thing in college and in the NFL. They have to trust you to put you in, or else they're not going to play you. So that's my goal right now. Just trying to take everything kind of one step at a time, one day at a time. But right now it's been, just learning the offense as much as I can. That way, whenever I get out there, there are no, I could play fast. There's no thinking involved in it. I want to be really, really keyed into whatever our game plan is, or, whatever our offense install is for that day. And that way I can play, as fast and as free as possible. I would say from a player standpoint, you don't go out there and win games like they do just from, I guess, not knowing what you're doing and not being detailed. So just doing that and just trying to be a perfectionist right now. I'm just taking it, one play at a time. I'm just trying to dive into what their goal is as an offense and kind of what they're trying to do.
Josh Newton heads to Cincinnati in the 5th round, and according to Will Blackmon, former Super Bowl champ in the 2012 with the Giants, he was the steal of the draft. Newton reflects on his first day at TCU.
August 5th, in this same meeting room, I think it's around August 5th, we had a team meeting, and all the newcomers had a chance to get in front of the team and just express how they feel about being here so far. And without a coincidence, I ended up having the floor last. Was able to just share my energy, what they could expect. And my main thing was to try to gain their attention, try to gain their trust right there in that moment. Express how I felt about me and what they gonna get out of me, and how I seen and what I saw in us as a team. This was before we even played a game, our first game. This is way before the 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 4-0, 5-0 started rolling. It was just a moment I had, and I let my feelings be on the table. I basically put Josh Newton right here on the table in front of the team, and they welcomed me in with open arms, and we went to work from there. I wasn't going to answer it, but it said the stadium name on it. So I was like, yeah, this got to be somebody. So then with 513 area code, so I'm like, it's not a bill collector, it's not a, it's somebody. So I answered it, and then it was Cincinnati. Zach Taylor is the guy that gave me the call on my draft day. I appreciate Zach, but also the whole organization for saying something to me, allowing me to continue my career, and really I'm just now getting started. So everything that I've accomplished in a short amount of time, I'm very appreciative for somebody like that to come out and say that. But hey, man, I got to prove it. At the end of the day, got to prove it. Back to the childhood memories of just speaking into the universe. I want to do that. I'm real big on manifestation, God, universe, nature. So back then it was just me dreaming, going to sleep, having visualizations in my sleep, daydreaming, actually doing it, playing it, and repeating that cycle, 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 repeating that cycle. And May 20th, May 22nd, I had got an opportunity to play at Power 5. And the rest was kind of like history once I left Louisiana Monroe and came here. And then I just felt like I was able to spread my wings. And that's what I did. I tried to do that as much as possible, And, but yeah, it's the same old stuff keeps applying in life, whether it's football, life, fighting adversity, just keep going. So if you just want to if you want me to, I'll sum it up, and it's just that cycle right there. Live it, see it, dream it, do it.
More Pro Frogs to add to the list. Good luck, guys, and we will be right back.
Welcome to the Squire Shop.
We are locally owned and operated since 1994.
We specialize in the finest men's clothing that the market has to offer at affordable prices with unbelievable service.
We do custom clothing all the way to more casual, Peter Millar, Johnny O, kind of everything. Well, my dad's the owner, so I've been around retail my whole life. Oh, it's great. I mean, it's the best boss I'll ever have. I know that.
We love our TCU community. They have been so good to us. Come see us today. Go Frogs!
We had a chance to hang out at the TCU Block T Association Coaches Golf Classic last week and find out exactly what the Block T Association is about from their director, Jill Pape Kramer, former TCU volleyball coach and alum. Kramer was on the first NCAA volleyball team at TCU and was one of the first volleyball scholarship student athletes in 1996. She was also a 2017 inductee into the TCU Athletics Hall of Fame.
Our community is, I've coached at a lot of places all over the country. Our community here is just second to none. And, this job is very different from coaching. It allows me the opportunity to meet people where they are in a different space, like outside of the confines of our campus, and bring them in, and if they're already a part of our community, bring them in even closer. It's a lot like recruiting, and the opportunity to continue to build relationships within our community is a blessing. I'm loving it. This is maybe the busiest time of year you're going to see for coaches in recruiting. I don't care what sport you're talking about. And we have had a coach from every sport out here. It just shows their commitment level to their student athletes and taking care of their needs and our fans and our donors. So also getting out there and playing, like you got these coaches that are teeing it up with some great folks. They're having a good time, and it's just getting more and more people excited about every sport on campus, not just football or basketball or baseball, just every sport on campus. We just rolled right into it this year. We've got the same people coming back year after year after year, and then have added some new blood to the mix, and you can just see how fired up everybody is to come support our student athletes.
This was a first for us hosting Frogs Today, and we had a lot of fun. For all of us here at Frogs Today, thanks for watching and thanks for all the support. I'm Isabel Pascual.
And I'm Jade Otway. Please like and subscribe to Frogs Today for unique Horned Frog sports coverage from all of our student athletes and coaches. Until next week, go Frogs!
Roxo Media House.